All right, guys, welcome. I invited the coolest people I know because this is something that's so unique. So I believe in life, you want to do unique things that no one else is doing. No one else in the world is doing what we're doing tonight because this is going to be an awesome night of magic, and I want to welcome Ron Gieseke.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey.
Yes.
Everybody doing good tonight?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I've got to ask a question. Does everybody here love the concept of time travel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Sure.
I was in Cal's books about a week ago, and I was looking around, and I came across a section with H.G. Wells in it, and I came across the book, the Time Machine. But the interesting part was that sitting next to it was this little item that I found out it has H.G. Wells' signature on it inexplicably. It had this deck of cards and this card on display, and I discovered that within its own right that it is a time machine in the tiniest sense. But before we go into the subject of time travel, I just want to go through time in a different way. We'll go through history. There's 3 books that actually comprise this show. The first is the most important book to all of card magic. It's called The Expert at the Card Table. It was written in 1902 by a mysterious author named S.W. Erdnase, whose identity is still unknown today. I can go into that much later. But in this book, it's divided into card magic and gambling techniques. Cheating, how to cheat the card table. He took a famous trick that is in the trade known as an ace assembly, and that's a trick where the aces are put in different places and then they wind up magically in one pile. But he used queens, and he made it an epic struggle of rigid class distinctions. And he used all of this convoluted language, this Elizabethan English, this early sort of, and deliberately embroidered it to show that you can take a simple trick and make it almost obscenely convoluted. Well, I decided to do this trick, but not word for word, because performing it word for word is almost cliche now in the magic world. So I rewrote it with my own esoteric language, convolution, and it's much worse, as a matter of fact.
Good.
So the author contended that the 4 queens were of aristocratic origin, that when besieged by those of unequal station, would covertly assemble elsewhere, thus no longer vexed by the ingratiating and simplistic conversations of their lesser associates. Now, for the sake of this demonstration, we will assume that these tiresome sycophants are actually a small throng of would-be suitors, which will be represented by the next 12 spot cards of considerably weaker stock. These Lotharios will seek to incrementally weaken the inhibitions of each of these damsels of the haute monde, while seeking each a solitary interview with their preferred denizen of virtue, while at the same time deluding their romantic rivals into believing in their own substantial viability on the romantic playing field. Convoluted enough for you? The first of these is the Queen of Diamonds. An expedient foray into the evening, our queen is dragged to the dance of the dispossessed, her escape quickly proving that one's partner is perhaps more important than the music itself.
Whoa.
Okay.
The Lotharios in the next estate, thinking they can weaken this blue-blooded baroness, set upon the Queen of Spades. They begin to ply this fair one with the food and drink common to their multitudinous rank. And while this one would seem to be absorbed or captivated by common ambiance, these wheat and barley attempts to subvert her protest only result in a stubbled greeting in the wings. Vociferously contending for the Queen of Hearts, these Don Juans make their own final appeal. They set upon this one in word and in deed and are completely enamored with themselves until her ethereal exit leaves them with the idea they have only themselves now with which to strive. Erdnase's 1902 text takes 4 courtly young women and places them in a scenario just like this one. Inundated by commoners, they quickly elude their subjugating peasant oppressors and reaffirm their preferred associations in a moderately surprising fourth estate. My job was not to just change the lyrics or the words to such a vaunted routine, but to also agree with the author in the fact that I too do not understand women. That's one, that's two.
Oh,
That's four.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really like,
Oh, were you watching?
oh yeah.